المالك الأول الخالق الآخر القابض الظاهر الخافض الرزاق الفتاح الغفار القهار المؤخر المصور المهيمن المقدر الهادي السلام. Assalamu alaikum and Ramadan Mubarak, family. We are on day 15, the 99.
Sister Dia, you're on mute. Sister Dia? Sister Dia?
Assalamualaikum. None of y'all heard anything I said.
Sister
Did. Praise be
No.
to Allah. But let's do this again. Assalamu alaikum and Ramadan Mubarak.
Walaikum salam, Ramadan Kareem.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Welcome to the 15th episode of the 99 attributes of Allah in 30 days, where we take 3 to 4 attributes per day and go into their meaning and their usage in our environment. Allah says in the Holy Quran, Allah, there is no God except He. To Him are the most beautiful names. Believers, these beautiful names are the 99 attributes of Allah found in Islam. The 99 characteristics of Allah reflect the noblest qualities and abilities. They represent the perfect ideal for human beings to inspire to. Islamic tradition says, derive your manners from the attributes of Allah. Therefore, our beloved Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, has reported to have said, the only thing in Islam that should be cultivated are the attributes of Allah. Our minister, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, tweeted, when we have an attribute of God, you should strive for degrees of excellence in that attribute. Praises be to Allah. So today we have with us my niece, my beautiful, strong niece, who's a mighty, mighty warrior in the vanguard. That is none other than our beautiful sister, Sister Najah, who will go further into the program, giving us her 3 attributes of Allah. Assalamu alaikum, Sister Najah.
Walaikum salam. Thank you for having me.
Too. We muted today.
Uh-oh. You can't hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now, sis.
Okay, praise be to Allah. Assalamu alaikum. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, who came and appeared in the person of Master Prophet Muhammad, the self-guided one, the great Mahdi. I bear witness that he traveled 9,000 miles to seek and to save a people that which were lost. And I know we repeat this all the time, but if you live in Houston, some of us aren't even going to the north side, let alone traveling 9,000 miles. So you know his love for us had to be real. The fall of America teaches us that a messenger is not sent, but he is born and raised amongst those who God would warn. And so I bear witness that the most honorable Elijah Muhammad is our messenger, the Moses that the Bible speaks of, the exalted Christ and the eternal leader of the nation of Islam. I was watching a tape from the Honorable Minister Farrakhan, one of his older tapes, and he was telling a story that the messenger always told at the dinner table. And he said, there was a man climbing a mountain late in the evening, and he asks, when will my help come? When will my help come? And so I further bear witness that God made one, he shaped one, he molded one. He is our warner, he is our God, he is our mercy amongst us in our midst, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. So I can say, and Moses was able to say, he is come. And it is in those three holy names that I would like to greet you all, the nations. Greeting words of peace. Again, Assalamu alaikum and Ramadan Mubarak.
Walaikum salam and Ramadan Kareem, ma'am.
I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so that we can get started. Okay, baby tour, there we go. So again, welcome. This is 99 Attributes of Allah in 30 Days, part 15. And the books that I'll be referencing today is, of course, the Teachers 2.0, Volume 2, compiled by Brother Najah Muhammad. We also, of course, have the Holy Quran. And then lastly, we have the Holy Bible. I remember Brother Carlos, when he spoke, he said that the minister was doing the lecture, and then afterwards, he got into a conversation with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and the messenger said, brother, that it was beautiful that he was able to speak and teach from the Bible, but he would love to hear him from the Quran as well. So we're going to reference both today. So our first attribute is Al-Raafi, the exalter, the elevator. And of course, we can't go into anything without certainty, without clarity. So we're going to define each word. So to exalt means to hold someone or something in very high regard, think or speak very highly of. And to elevate means to raise or lift something up to a higher position or improve morally, intellectually, or culturally, pardon me. So how would one strive for degrees of excellence in this attribute, Al-Raafi, pardon me, which is to exalt, to elevate? And the first thing that comes to mind to me is self-improvement. Self-improvement is the basis of community development. And we cannot go out and help other people if we have not first helped ourselves. So what does that look like? What can we improve on? We can improve on simple things, eating one meal a day. I know that's really tough for some of us if it's not Ramadan, even if it is Ramadan. So eating one meal a day, no slack talking, gossiping. For sisters, covering your hair, brothers dressing appropriately, sisters dressing appropriately. So self-improvement, that is the basis of community development. That's one way we can strive for degrees of excellence using this attribute, Raafi. And so Surah 13, verse 11 teaches, for him are angels guarding the consequences of his deeds, before him and behind him, who guard him by Allah's command. Surely Allah changes not the condition of a people until they change their own condition. So we can't ask for Allah's help, or we can't even think to offer someone else help if we don't strive to be better in our lives. So I have next to strive for excellence in your life every day. That may look different depending on the person. It may look different for a 25-year-old versus a 50-year-old. A 50-year-old may be trying to get in shape more, or things of that nature. While a 25-year-old, you know what? I'm focusing on school. This is what I want to do. I'm trying to pick up a second language. I'm trying to pick up a third language. So whatever that is for you, strive for excellence in that, self-improvement. Now, how will using this attribute benefit those around you in your environment? How will elevating someone better everyone else? So the first thing I have here is correction. So of course, we're going to start with self-improvement, of course. But then how, we're taught to want for our brothers and sisters what we want for ourselves. So if I'm eating one meal a day and I'm working out or whatever the case may be, I'm caught up on my studies. I then have to extend my hand and be kind and generous as God was to me by giving me that spirit and helping my brother and sister do the same thing. So each one teach one. Proverbs 12 teaches us that a fool despiseth correction, and the wise man and woman loveth reproof. So when you reprove or rebuke someone in error, you give them a chance to get it right. And that is mercy from God. Correction is mercy from God himself. Mercy meaning undeserving forgiveness, which, pardon me, when one of us is lifted, we are all lifted. So when I'm doing good, my sister's doing good, and so on and so forth. And then we have our second attribute, which is Al-Ghafoor, meaning the forgiving, exceedingly forgiving. So again, we're going to define this one. To forgive means a conscious, deliberate decision to release feelings of resentment or vengeance towards a person or a group who has harmed you, regardless of whether they actually deserve your forgiveness. Now, I know, again, with all this, it's self-improvement. So it's hard. I gotta be honest, it's hard sometimes to forgive somebody. And then it's even harder to forgive yourself. So we're taught by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. He said that trials are necessary, not only for the establishment of truth, but the truth must be established that we are tried not only once, but daily. They're designed to bring up things that are hidden. So the best way, I believe, to put this one into practice, to put forgiving or to use it in our daily lives, to become proficient in it, is to practice it. We have to practice it. And you think, how would I practice that? Whenever the situation comes up, like the minister said, this is a daily thing. Whenever it comes up, be one that is forgiving. And you say, well, why do I have to forgive? Why not? Allah forgives us day in, day out for things that we have done and things that we are going to do, and we don't even know that we're going to do. So who are you? Who am I to not be able to forgive someone? So Surah 42, verse 40 says, and the recompense of evil is punishment like it. But whoever forgives and amends, his reward is with Allah. Surely he loves not the wrongdoers. So to forgive is to trust Allah, is to trust the process. Because why not forgive? Now, how do we put this into practice? It's all nice and fun, to speak about this thing. We have to practically apply them in our lives. So how we're using this attribute change our environment. October 16th, 1995, the Million Man March, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan provided us with the 8 steps of atonement, which is only just one way to practice forgiveness. And no, this is for me too. This is not something that we're only going to do when October comes around, when it's Holy Day of Atonement. This is, again, something that we have to practice daily. So 1, you have to point out the wrong. Number 2, you have to acknowledge the wrong. Number 3, we have to confess the fault. Number 4, we have to repent, which is a feeling of remorse or contrition. Pardon me. Number 5, we have to atone, meaning to make amends and reparations. Number 6, we have to forgive. And then, of course, number 7, we have to reconcile and then restore, meaning to become friendly. And number 8, through that process, we will then have perfect union with the law God. So then, I know some of us, is like, when we're younger, it's like, it's almost, why do I have to forgive somebody? Why not? And then again, it's like, I've forgiven. It's almost like we feel like there are only a certain amount of times that we can forgive someone. Or there's only a certain amount of time we can forgive ourselves or even offer forgiveness to anybody. So the Teachers 2.0, volume 2, page 4 reads, the question is forgiveness a liberating characteristic? And how can I truly learn to forgive? And the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan responds. He said, Peter asked Jesus, how often shall I forgive? And Jesus said 70 times, 7 times, which represents infinity. He said, we are a people that have been destroyed and we do lots of evil to self and each other. So in order to raise us up, we must learn how to forgive, and learning to forgive is a liberating characteristic, but never think that forgiving removes the consequence of evil. You can forgive, but the law of justice requires that as a man soweth, the same shall he also reap. I have read in the Quran where Allah speaking to his messenger said, you may forgive, but I will never forgive. That tells us that there is some evil that people do that demands punishment. And although we may not be able to punish, God says in that day, vengeance is mine. That is the balance. And then again, they asked the question, does Allah's forgiveness ever run out? And he answered, well, he is so patient and loving that his mercy and his forgiveness for those whom he loves is as infinite as his power. And we know that Allah is the all-powerful, the all-knowing. So it's infinite, like he said. So if Allah can forgive time and time and time again, surely you and I can at least strive to do the same. And then lastly, we have Shakoor, which I think this was my favorite one. Al-Shakoor is the most appreciative gratitude. So again, we're going to break the words down. Appreciative, feeling or showing gratitude. And then gratitude means the quality of being thankful, readiness to show appreciation for, return kindness. The feels gratitude is thankful for what they have and does not constantly seek more. How would one strive for degrees of excellence with this attribute? I think it's very simple, although it may be very hard in that time. So the way we strive for this is just to be thankful for what Allah has blessed us with. So often, we're yearning for other things when Allah has already blessed us with so much. And so being thankful will help us do that. It will help us be more like him. Surah 14, Abraham reads, verse 34, and he gives you of all you ask of him. And if you count Allah's favors, you will not be able to number them. Surely man is very unjust, very ungrateful. We can't count our blessings. We will be there all day counting our blessings. And I know sometimes it's like, okay, well, I see that she has this, she has that. If we would only take what Allah has already given us, because he's already given us so much, he's given us the gift of life. So we can maximize on that and take full advantage of everything that he has blessed us with, then surely we will be successful. And I can promise you that the grass is not greener on the other side. You're always going to have somebody who wants what you have and you want what they have. So the grass is not greener on the other side. The grass is greener where you water it. And then, of course, how will using this attribute change your environment? So Psalm 107 verse 1 reads, oh, give thanks unto the Lord, for he is good, for his mercy endureth forever. I remember it was a few years back. I was just, thinking to myself, we might have just finished prayer at the elevated places or something. And I was like, every prayer we asking this man for something. We asking him for his mercy, for his protection, whatever the case may be. And I said, it's just really interesting, or how would we feel if we were forever asking, or somebody was forever asking us for something, yet they rarely ever said thank you. They rarely ever did that. So being grateful, being thankful. So Psalms, and then learning how to say thank you. How can we apply this? I have something that Sister Wakiti shared with me one day. Every morning before prayer or before you go to bed, we often ask Allah for, in our prayers, we want to ask him for protection. We want to ask him for a new house. We ask him about the new Jordan 1s. We ask him about, the new AirPods. But how about we say, oh, Allah, thank you. Oh, Allah, thank you for providing me with ears that allow me to hear clearly. Oh, Allah, thank you for providing me with eyes that allow me to see clearly. Oh, Allah, thank you for allowing me to wake up in the right state of mind. And I know some of you may think, well, isn't that implied? Aren't these the basics? They are the basics. And that is why we so often forget and tend not to be grateful for these things. But there are people who wake up deaf or who are born deaf, people who are blind, people without legs, arms, people who are schizophrenic and all types of things. So Allah, thank you. Thank you for blessing me with these things. So Surah 31, verse 12 reads, and certainly we gave Luqman wisdom, saying, give thanks to Allah, and whoever is thankful for his own soul, and whoever denies, then surely Allah is self-sufficient praise. So expressing our gratitude will put us in the right state of mind. And if we're expressing our gratitude with Allah, we're not worried about what he's doing, what she is doing, we can just be centered on what we have right in front of us, all the plenty gifts that Allah has blessed us with. So expressing gratitude will put you in the mind of Allah. And if you're in the mind of Allah, that will keep you in present time, which will allow you to be in a state of peace. And this is just, it's beautiful. And we're fortunate enough to have so many of the minister's words on paper, so many of the minister's words written down in books. But I think it's something different when you get to hear his voice. So I just want to play this very short clip. Give me 1 second.
Your volume, when you share your screen, click on share volume as well.
Be patient with yourself. Because you'll be up one day and down the next.
Is that better?
You'll be pleased one day and displeased the next. You'll be peaceful one day and very angry the next. But be patient with yourself because God is not through with you yet. See, don't look in the mirror and talk down to you. Oh man, you're no good. Yeah, that's true. But that's not you. That's the enemy in you. So when you look at yourself and you're not pleased with yourself, naked, I'm not talking about with your clothes off. I'm talking about naked when you see yourself exposed to your own conscience and it's whipping you. It's called in the Quran the self-accusing spirit. When that's whipping you like that, just say, okay, Allah. If you will forgive me and have mercy on me and strengthen me, I'll strive harder tomorrow to be better. You're not going to be all that you could be just because you want to be. You're going to be all that you could be as long as you keep striving to be.
Praise be to Allah.
Praise. Hope you all enjoyed that. And lastly, I just wanted to put all of the attributes together so that we will be able to see them as such. So Raafi, to improve or to elevate. Raafi, or to elevate, is to improve and correct. And correction is a mercy from God himself. Mercy is undeserving Ghafoor. Mercy is undeserving forgiveness. And for that, we should always be the most appreciative and the most Shakoor, the most grateful. So the last thing, and I'll close with this, I want to read this last quote from the minister from the Teaching 2.0 book. The question is, how do I grow to think and act like a God? And the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan answers, in the scriptures, it teaches, my ways are not your ways. My thoughts are not your thoughts. I am from above while you are from beneath. This tells us that we all can rise up into the thinking of God. God's presence in the world declares that he is offering to us his mind, his thinking, his way. And if we rise up into his thinking and follow his way, we will become reflections of him. I want to thank Brother Eric and Sister Sadia for having me. That was part 15 of 99 and 30. Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam. Allah Akbar. Praises be to Allah. Excellent, excellent. So, Sister Najah, we have some questions for you. Now, people on Zoom right now, they may not know that right now we are actually live casting this here at the mosque. We're in the middle of a Ramadan and mental health seminar and symposium, and we have a panel. And so this is part of the program. And as I'm looking at your attributes, Sister Najah, we're talking about correction and elevation. We're talking about forgiveness and mercy. And then we're also talking about having gratitude. So how is one's mental health connected to all of those particular attributes? And that was an excellent presentation. People are letting us know right now. Just wanted you to know. But how are those attributes connected to mental health and positive mental health? And how could they affect us on a negative if we do not acknowledge, forgiveness in ourselves and ingratitude?
Yes, ma'am. So I'll start with, I guess I'll just start with the negative. So oftentimes, again, we're not looking on the brighter side. As I said, we're always looking towards, oh, she has this and he has that. And we're not looking to see how much Allah has blessed us with. So if we were to focus on that more, then that would, of course, cause our mental health to be more positive. We will be more optimistic, more, we will look for the positive things, because it's all about the way that you approach life. So if you're always looking to approach life, to approach whatever the problem is in a positive way, then it's going to reflect the same up here. But if you're looking to reflect, or you're looking for something negative, you're not looking for something positive, then of course, and it's going to reflect negatively up here.
That's right. So you're saying internal, then external. And so everything starts with the thought. And
Yes,
so having that
definitely.
gratitude is a very high vibrational frequency and energy that you can be on. And I love the example that you gave with Sister Waikiki, the practical application. Just instead of asking for stuff at the end of the night or the beginning of the day, just thank him for all that he's given you. And when we rest. So praise be to Allah. Now, the other question that I wanted to ask you personally in your life, what are some of the things that you do in order, your practices that you partake in your daily life to make sure that you have an elevated mindset, so that we can encourage our young folks who are struggling with things that they have done, that their self-accusing spirit is whooping on them and they can't seem to get up. So can you encourage us and give us some wisdom on that?
Yes, ma'am. Honestly speaking, I think it's always nice. And it's always nice, personally, I believe that it's always nice to have an accountability partner. I remember my dad telling us that his dad told him that if you get one good friend in life, then you're blessed. So my accountability partner for most things, I know for at least eating one meal a day, or doing the unity fast, even when I really don't want to, but I know I need to. That is Mariam. So if you can find somebody like that, like I spoke about correction, being a friend, and we spoke about this in class today, and I won't go into deep, but being a friend, you got to be there for the rough times and the good times. You have to be able to offer your sister or your friend, kindness, but also you got to give some tough love at times as well. So having that accountability partner really keeps me focused and keeps me grounded.
Praise be to Allah. Excellent, excellent. So this is part 2 of Ramadan and mental health. So we're going to go into our next part. We don't want you to leave. Now, this recording, this replay will be on Mosque 45 website on Facebook. And also you can watch the replay on our YouTube channel, which is Mosque 45 AV, which stands for audio visual, if you wanted to know. Oh, there he goes. So there's our other co-host, Brother Eric. So he was in another event. So we're working on Saturday today for the sake of for ourselves and the believers. So Brother Eric, you have something to say? Come on now.
No, just want to say congratulations. Awesome job. Awesome job. I'm in another intensive with the Imam Sultan and Brother Submentor Carlos and believers from around the country, and another intensive. So I just finished up 2.5 hours. I don't know how to minister. Ooh, he did 4.5 hours. I did 2 hours, and I'm 2.5 hours. I'm spent. But just going through the presentation, Najah, but I caught the end part. I'm definitely going to go back and watch on Mosque 45 Facebook page, and also on Mosque 45 AV, our YouTube channel. But what I heard, just beautiful. Just absolutely beautiful. I sure wish you'd have kept going and talking about what y'all talking about in the MGT class, but I'm gonna leave that alone. But praise be to Allah. Excellent job, Najah. Thank you, Sister Dia.
Praise be to Allah. So Sister Aaliyah, she's going to put the link in for the panel discussion that we have some mental health experts there. And so we want you to listen in as we go further in Ramadan and mental health. And as far as the PowerPoint presentation, because I know some people are interested in your PowerPoint, which was excellent. Sister Aaliyah will also put the email address so that you may also receive the PowerPoint presentation. So in closing, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan stated, if you run down all of the attribute characteristics of God, these are also the attributes of human beings who are crafted by the Creator. Praises be to Allah. So inshallah, we'll see you on the other side, and we'll see you tomorrow for day 16. Praises be to Allah. Assalamu alaikum and Ramadan Mubarak.
Wa alaikum salam and Ramadan Mubarak.